All right, this is a great example for analytical thinking. Because what's an analytical thinking? It's a way to divide the whole into parts, and then each part can be thought out separately, and then you combine them later, and then there you have it. Okay. So let's think about this. So we have two consecutive positive even integers, and we already mentioned in the previous question that the two numbers in that case should be called x and x plus 2, because if you have two even numbers, they should be even 2 apart. And then the next words that you should think of is there's a product, and there's the sum, and there's this 14 more than. So there are three things that we have to think about. Okay, we want to think about these separately. Okay, and when you think about these, don't mind about what's happening to the other. Okay, so first, product. Okay, multiplication, addition, division, subtraction. Of these four operations, what is the product?
Square root.
No, not square root. Multiplication. Right. Product means multiplication. What about the sum? What's the sum?
Addition.
Addition. Right. Okay. So if we think about the product of two numbers, where the two numbers are these numbers, we should be multiplying, right? So we have x times x plus 2. We have the product. And that's it. We stop here. We figured out what the product is. It's this one. We don't have to think about that anymore. We'll think about this later. Okay, so that's done. Now we move on to the sum. The sum is addition, so what do? We add these two. So we have x plus 2. And that's it. That's the sum. This is the product. That's the sum. Okay. Now we have to involve 14 more. So 14 more than something means if A is 14 more than B, that means you can write an equation because A is means equal, right? And then 14 gets added somewhere. I can never figure out if it's A equals to B plus 14 or it's A plus 14 equals to B. It's confusing, okay? So we're going to think through this in the following way. Read the question again and tell me if this question is saying that the product is bigger or the sum is bigger. Which one's bigger? The product is bigger because product is more, right? Read this. The product is more, right? Product is 14 more, so this is bigger than this. Now, we want to add 14 to make them equal. Okay. This one is less or bigger? Again? Less. This is bigger. So if you want to add 14 to one side to make them equal, where should you distribute the 14? You give the 14 to the poor guy so that now they have the same amount of money. Right? You get it? Okay. So that's exactly what we want to do. We want to say, if I add 14 to this side, then the inequality goes away, and you have equality. And then you just solve this, and you're done, right? Okay, so let's expand. This is x squared plus 2x. X plus x is 2x. 2 plus 14 is 16. See, it wasn't that hard. If you're able to just cut this into small parts and just work on those, at some point you can put everything together and you have an equation. It's not that bad. Okay. Now 2x cancels. You can subtract 2x both sides. So x squared is 16. Now, if you take the square root, you get x equals to plus or minus 4. Whenever you take the square root of both sides, remember you need a plus or minus 4. So you have two choices. When x is 4, when x is negative 4. Okay, when x is 4, what's the other number? 4 and? 4 and 4 plus 2, which is 6. So 4 and 6. And then negative 4 and? Negative 2. But one of them is not an answer.
The negative.
The negatives are not an answer. Why? Because it says positive here. Okay. So this is negative, so that doesn't work. And therefore, this is the only answer. 4 and 6 are the two numbers. And you can even check. So let's see, 4 times 6, what's that? 24 is their product, right? What's 4 plus 6? Their sum is 10. And is 14 more than 10? 14 plus 10 is indeed 24, right? So we did check, and it's correct.